Hey everyone, before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more stories like this. The spoon fell from my fingers just as his sentence hit the air. You're handing over the house, right? Chuckles spread along the table, stiff and scripted, like a cheer for my compliance. The overhead light buzzed softly up there, glinting off the wine stem quivering by my arm. I placed it down carefully, letting the whole group notice. No, I replied. The space went dead still. A voice murmured my name like a caution. Mom's necklace clacked while she looked away. Dad's mouth tightened. Then stillness, only the light's buzz and the patter of spilled drink hitting the ground from the tipped glass. Then his words again, then Mia will. Back when I was 8, shattered glass sounds never brought anyone except me. Tim would bang a door shut. A photo would crash down, and I'd gather the pieces before Mom and Dad got back. He dubbed me the fix-it kid, and chuckled till I grinned just to keep him going. That was our pattern, his chaos, my quiet. At 12, he smashed my bike against a post box. Dad got him a new one that very day. Mine sat twisted and corroded by the street for ages. I convinced myself it was no big deal. It always was. At 16, I began repairing stuff. The kitchen faucet that dripped forever, the cupboard door dangling from a single screw. Mom would stroll past with her mug, commenting, "You should have been a guy. Then you'd actually come in handy." Tim would smirk over his breakfast, knocking the dish like cheers. That noise would replay in my mind after dark. When university rolled around, Tim flunked a couple terms and still scored a fresh ride. I finished ahead of schedule and received a set of tools. Dad claimed it fit me more than office work. By 25, I'd quit hoping for equality. I'd quit seeking it. The sole person who ever viewed me another way was Nana. She joined me in her yard, highlighting spots where roots pushed through dirt just to reach sun. "You're that type," she'd tell me. "You don't battle noisy, but you push past stone." I didn't grasp her point until she passed and her estate got announced. Tim received a savings account. I got her notebooks. Folks pretended that was balanced. I turned the notebooks into lessons on restoring what people abandoned, vintage pieces, damaged surfaces, my own self. That's how I discovered the place, a 1920s bungalow sagging in on itself, priced low since nobody wanted the hassle. I invested all I owned in it. Every paycheck, every free day, every bit of patience. And whenever a surface split, I mended it before eyes could spot. When my folks dropped by once, Dad chuckled. "You'll wear yourself down on that wreck." Mom agreed. At least Tim's pursuing something worthwhile. I served them drinks in cups I'd crafted myself. Neither drank much. As they drove off, I observed from the deck while their vehicle vanished, dirt kicking up after. The place groaned, but it held. I assured myself that sufficed. I once believed quiet maintained harmony, that toughness showed affection. But crouched on the ground that cold evening, fingers rough from smoothing the identical stair over and over, I saw I'd created a sanctuary from all they claimed would crush me. Breeze slipped through gaps by the pane, bringing a light pine scent. I laid my hand on the banister I'd just fixed. Firm, cozy, reliable against my touch. Out there somewhere, a pup yelped. In here, just my breaths filled the space. That was the evening I quit waiting for their recognition. The ring came midweek, right around lunchtime. I was smoothing the pane border, sunshine pouring in slim, powdery beams over the planks. The cell vibrated once, twice, then his tone sliced the fuzz. Dull. Trained. Done. Tim requires that place more than you. If you don't transfer it by end of week, court it is. The term court rang via the device like a hammer on crystal. I stayed silent. Paint flakes stuck to my forearm, sparkling in the glow. My inhale remained level. He took that hush for scare and ended the call pleased. Moments after, the cell glowed anew. Mom now, her pitch edgier, slimmer. "You know your debt to us, Lena. We brought you up. Don't turn this messy." Then the connection dropped. The area grew denser afterward. Beyond, Gus shook the windows. I put the cell beside my drink cup and gazed at the shaky image inside it. It wasn't rage that hit initially. It was familiarity. This wasn't fresh. It was the old pattern wrapped in law terms. My work was theirs to claim. The glow moved over the surface as hours passed. I grabbed my carving tool and dug it into the border, the scrape cutting the calm. The timber yielded bit by bit, even purposeful. When the particles cleared, I remained there seeing sunshine hit each trace I'd left on that place. For years I'd constructed with my grip, since it was the single thing they couldn't alter. Now they aimed for even that. I brushed the wood dust from my hands, grabbed the jingle of keys by the entry, and gripped the steel till it stung my flesh. The keys stayed steady. So did I. That was the instant I ceased being their kid and began being their rival. Sarah's workspace reeked of documents and chilled brew. Crisp, clean, indifferent. I perched opposite her, my hands level on the binder I'd carried, the one packed with 5 years of evidence I'd created it all solo. She scanned the sheets quietly, her marker drumming a gentle beat on the surface. Then she chuckled. Gentle at start, then fuller, wagging her head. "They're menacing to take you to trial," she stated at last, tone sharp. "Over land you hold free and clear." Her chuckle packed the area, bright, precise, slicing the worry that had pressed my lungs since the ring. I breathed out gradual. That marked the initial occasion ever someone chuckled alongside me, not toward me. Sarah bent closer. "Well, allow them to swing first," she noted. "Then we construct the argument piece by piece. You've got records." I agreed and flipped the binder. Invoices, money moves, statements, shots of split coating turned even surfaces brushed myself. Each pick a log of effort. She turned a sheet, halted. "Maintain it all sorted, electronic and hard copy. Proof chain counts more than fury." Her voice stayed even, guiding no sympathy plan. That evening, I kicked off the subtle tasks. I tagged directories on my device, loan, fixes, services. Hard versions filled tin pouches arranged over my eating surface. I reran the chat with my dad and stored it as warning logs. Every tap, every tag grounded me. At 2 a.m, I rested in the front room, circled by paper piles and the whir of the ancient heater. Beyond, drops patted the pane. I eyed the place I'd raised, the one they labeled trash, and saw I was listing not only proof, but an existence. The heater sighed once, the lone noise in the space. 7 days on, Sarah rang. They submitted. Her tone held firm. "Mine too." "Great," I replied. "Now we submit ours." We gathered again 48 hours later. Dawn rays sliced the shades, banding the desk with bright and dark streaks. Sarah passed me a writer. "You'll sign right there. Response suit, scam, wrong use, and duty breach." The terms felt weighty, but pure, like crystal shattering the proper way. I inked. "Evidence of estate grab?" She queried. I slid her one more binder. Within, duplicates of reports from my Nana's account logs displaying how the money vanished the year Tim snagged a new ride, and my folks upgraded their cooking area. Sarah reviewed, then glanced up. They dropped clues. I agreed. They usually do. When she grinned, it wasn't warm. It was work joy, the type that vows outcomes. "Allow the process speak," she stated. Back home, I wandered the place, gradual, brushing each area like confirming its owner. The handle I'd shined, the banister I'd smoothed, the light hint of finish still by the ledge. In the cooking space, I switched off all bulbs save one, the overhead flickering gentle. My screen shone soft azure as I checked the end files. Ownership note, land paper, duty docs. Each file opened and shut with a tap that seemed like inhaling. In the hush, my cell hummed with family texts. "You're worsening it. This isn't our way. Consider your folks' image." I skipped responses. I stored each in a directory called clutter. Time melted to 7 days. I labored in sun, fortified my shield after dark. Sarah managed sending demands, the wording of fight, masked as politeness. My role was sequence, record, check, ready. I mastered proof. When the alert arrived that we'd hit finding phase, I perched at the identical eating surface where I once dined solo after hearing I was overly self-reliant. Now the surface was a hub, screen open, hue-marked binders piled by my drink mug. Every binder edge shone under the top bulb. It was the loveliest creation I'd made. At times I spotted my image in the black pane. Identical look, altered stance. Back straight, grips firm. No more jumping. Strength, I saw, wasn't boisterous. It didn't plead. It was the calm assurance from grasping facts and challenging dispute. One dusk, Sarah rang once more. "They're stressing," she said, aiming to resolve. "Not now," I responded. "Why?" "Since they figure they can guilt me quiet." Sarah paused a moment, then permit their chatter. The evening prior to the kin meal, I paced the place a final round. The board squeaked under my feet, known as air. I paused by the pane I'd mended moons back, and eyed the city gleams dance over the crystal. In that image somewhere, I spotted the lady they never figured I'd be. The jingle of my keys cut the calm. I lifted them, sensing the chill heft in my grasp. They weren't merely for entries I'd secured. They were for those I'd at last mastered shutting. By sunrise, the papers were tucked tidy in my pack. All tagged, every sheet secured. Beyond, the heavens were light ash, the sort of dawn that seemed fresh, open, awaiting. I filled one final mug of brew. No sweet, no cream. The stirrer dinged once on the pot, then hush. This round the calm wasn't void. It was set up. It was command. The eating area carried lemon shine and fake coziness. Every seat taken save the end one, the spot for me. Sparkle cups, creased cloths, the fake of calm. I entered with Sarah beside me and Mark a pace back, the gentle snap of his case sealing the air to quiet. My mom's eyes already puffy, liners shaky at rims. "You showed," she said, tone fragile with practiced grief. "We figured perhaps I'm not here for drama," I cut in. My voice stayed level. It didn't have to climb. "I'm here for end." My dad coughed, the noise like a hammer. "Then let's talk your family debt." Sarah's fingers grazed the cloth, evening an unseen fold. "Let's," she said steady, and placed a binder before him. The paper on wood thudded keener than talk. He flipped it, his mouth narrowed as he scanned. Row by row, his command faded. "These are," he started. "Money logs," Sarah said clear, "and evidence of wrongly taken cash. Your girl's estate listed under you." The area turned extra still. A utensil dropped near the middle. Ella, Tim's partner, glanced up, her face white. "What estate?" Silence. Sarah flipped another sheet. "We've added your duty forms. The service might see them inventive." My mom's inhale caught. Her fingers sought the wine cup, shaking so the drink waved. Tim shoved his seat. "This is absurd." He barked. "You're bending it all." I eyed him first that night. "You used my savings," I said plain, "and you aided their grab at my place. That's not bending. That's numbers." He chuckled, a crack from panic. "You can't show." Mark pushed one more pouch over the surface. "Money shifts," he said. "Every penny." The pouch hit like a ruling. For a bit, nobody stirred. Then the uproar hit. Sudden, tones mixing, blames, clangs, seat drags on floor. Sarah sat, steady, marker drumming the binder rim. When the peak hit, she spoke low. "You got 2 days to withdraw the suit, repay the taken sum plus gain, and fix duties. Else we go big." My dad's face went dark crimson. "You're faking." Sarah held gaze. "We submit at dawn." The mess leaked from the area, leaving just the light buzz. I rose, the seat feet scraping mild as I shifted. "I came to offer a shot," I said. "Not pardon." Ella's tone cut the calm. "Tim," she breathed. "Is it real?" He stayed mute. She rose, slipped off her band, and placed it on the surface. The tiny ding louder than yells. My mom started sobs, big, showy. My dad glared the papers like they'd ignite. Sarah collected the binders, piling neat with exact care. Mark shut his case. I headed the exit. "This isn't payback," I said soft. "It's answer." Nobody came after. Beyond, the night breeze was crisp, pure. The place back there shone via drapes, cozy glow around folks who'd lived confusing role for care. Sarah joined me. "You handled the must," she said. I agreed once. "They sought a fight," I whispered. Now they got one. We headed the ride. Each gravel step rang like end, measured, done. From within, I caught my dad yell my name, dulled by walls. First time, I kept forward. Half a year on, the place was calm anew. No attorneys, no rings, no kin labels bouncing the halls. Just steady raindrops on the deck cover and damp soil sent lifting from the yard. The suit wrapped, refund started, and quiet swapped the racket they'd used to rule me. I passed mornings with brew on the stairs. I'd glow shift over boards I'd smooth myself. Every dent, every scrape, every fastener top sparkled like evidence of what couldn't be taken. Post still arrived fat with pouches, bank alerts, formal notes, but each held my name solo. One midday, Sarah visited. No outfit now, just a sweater and calm gaze. She gave a last pouch. All done, she said. They inked it all. I held off opening. We stood entry, hearing the drops. When she went, I left the pouch on the cook counter hole. The knowing sufficed. After, I strolled the yard. Dirt cool under bare soles. Breeze smelled fresh like fresh timber and soaked foliage. I recalled Nana's line. How some roots crack stone just for sun. Maybe she'd foreseen. Maybe she'd known I'd need solo growth to grow. Via the pane, the place shone mild against the dull heavens. Not fancy shine, just cozy, occupied, the type from Secure. I slid my hand on the banister, the one I'd leaned on once sobbing over pricks and tired. The timber smooth now, tough. One sun ray cut clouds and hit the old key set by the entry. The steel gleamed yellow against dimming glow. I reached, let it sit in my grasp. First time, it felt no burden. It felt evidence. This was survival's tune. No claps, no yells, just rain easing on crystal. Fairness doesn't thunder, it stays. It lingers in calm home's edges, in soft snap of a latch at last shut. Mikan figured they could redo what I raised, but surfaces recall. Boards recall. I recall. Their quiet now rings louder than mornings, ever. The place holds not as payback, but as log. Every fastener, every mark, every fixed split is witness. You needn't yell to take back yours. You just quit unlocking the entry.